Good morning, everybody. The future of Europe in a time of crisis. I don't think we're discussing Europe today. We're discussing the European Union. And I actually think they're two rather different things. Is Europe, these vast glass and steel structures in Brussels and Luxembourg, and Strasbourg for that matter, is it that flag? Is it the anthem? Is it Mr. Herman Van Rompuy? Is that what Europe is? No, I actually think that the word Europe has been hijacked by a political project, and these people claim to represent Europe. I don't think they do. I think Europe is a vibrant, exciting, by far the most exciting part of the Earth's surface, where we have a huge multiplicity of languages and cultures and histories and talents and individualities. And what is happening here, this attempt to drive everybody together to forge one new state, well, there, maybe some people, like Mr. Cohn-Bendit, that believe in this. But the way it's been done has been utterly dishonest from the start. It wasn't explained to people that the intention, in our case, of joining a common market was that it would become a political union. And as Mr. Swoboda himself said, when the euro was introduced, the implications of the euro weren't explained to anybody. And when finally the project came clean, which it did with the Constitutional Convention and Mr. Giscard d'Estaing coming up with a constitution, there for the first time there was no question that a state was being created. What happened? Well, the French said no, the Dutch said no, and everybody knows that a majority of member states would have said no. And what did they do? They just rebranded it as the Lisbon Treaty without surrendering a single power and carried on with the project, until, of course, the Irish voted no, and they were forced to vote again. So I would argue that this union that we have today isn't just undemocratic, it's actually fundamentally anti-democratic in the way that it's been set up. More seriously, the whole thing is based on the wrong premise. Now, I completely understand why French intellectuals in 1945 thought, we've got to do something. 3 waves of German aggression within 70 years with ruinous consequences for the whole world. But abolishing nation-state is not the way to peace. The problem was that Germany wasn't a functioning democratic nation-state. Democratic nation-states do not go to war with each other. What we should have done is to foster democracy, not this idea that we get rid of nation-state and force people into one. Because as Yugoslavia shows us, if you force people together against their will, far from giving peace, you may bring war. Now, the Eurozone crisis has been utterly predictable from day one. Indeed, it was our membership of the exchange rate mechanism that took me from the world of business into the world of politics. It doesn't work, and it can't work. A full transfer union is something that the northern European countries are never going to accept. And actually, just transferring money will not solve a problem that is cultural. Europe is split from north to south. I don't see things getting any better. I think with every week that goes by, they're actually getting worse. And so what we have is a battle. Economic logic says, break up the Eurozone, let those countries go free, give them devaluations and a chance, as the Icelandic nation proved, that they can get back to prosperity. But against that, we have the iron political will of refusing to admit failure. I think the Eurozone will end in large-scale violence. I think it will end in political extremism. I think it will end, sadly, in the southern European nations and the northern European nations hating each other. Ironic that a project that was supposed to stop nationalism is breeding it. I'm more optimistic, Mr. Chairman, for the north of Europe. And I'm pleased to see what Mr. Bolkestein has said in the last month. Even more surprised to see that Oscar Lafontaine, one of the architects of the euro, has now admitted that it's a disaster. And I debated with him at the Swiss Economic Forum last year, and he was absolutely certain last year that the euro was a great success. One thing for certain is that the United Kingdom, which mercifully, after our ERM debacle, stayed out of the euro, but despite the fact we're not in the eurozone, the United Kingdom is going to continue to play a very influential role over the whole European debate. There's a very clear, settled majority now of the British population that want a relationship with Europe that is based on trade, cooperation, being good next-door neighbours, agreeing sensible common minimum standards, doing all the things that we should want to do with our neighbours, but perhaps having a bit more time to focus on the rest of the world. I do think the UK will be out of the EU probably within the next 5 to 6 years, and that then, I think, will give encouragement to many other nations. So I don't think this project can survive. I don't believe that it's legitimate. I just feel very sorry that for the price of an experiment, tens of millions of people in the Mediterranean states are being forced into poverty and